Do people in Canada have cable, like other people?
We keep this up in the playoffs. I don't care.
And at Chili's. Is it a Chili's? At Kyle's?
Achilles.
Finally.
You don't know that?
Fuck you! Get this guy the fuck out of here!
Alright, well, coming in at number 5, I got Anthony Stolars.
Now! Jets are winning the cup!
Thank you for watching and listening. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode number 112 and number 55 of the NordCast and NBP. It is Saturday, June 7th, 2025. I can actually say that because it literally is that day, currently at the time of recording of this podcast. I am your host here, NordCast, joined with just LeBlanc James. LeBlanc, how we doing?
We're doing good. We run on a short shift schedule though, so we gotta
I'm sure you're running on fumes here because LeBlanc had work. You want to just tell us what's going on with you?
So I had work today from 12 to 8. I got up early though, but now I work tomorrow open shift, 7:30 a.m.
Till what time?
till 4. And
Oh, that sucks.
No, I texted my Stan's group chat. And I'm like, listen, I opened up. Can we chill with the fucking overtime?
Yeah, can we chill with the overtime? I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
I enjoyed it. It was very good game, very good overtime. I'll be honest. So far, the series is living up to its name, though. It's living up to the name.
I gotta ask you something. When was the last time where we had back-to-back good Cup finals?
Back-to-back good Cup finals? Ooh.
Maybe 2019 and 2020?
I was gonna say I was gonna say 1920. I was gonna say it might be 15-16.
Yeah, that long ago.
15?
Because it always feels like we get one where it's like, oh, it's so good, it's so close, it's cinema, and then we get one where it's like trash,
or
5 games.
I'll go back as far as 2010, 2011, where we had Chicago, Philly, and then the next year we had Vancouver, Boston.
That too. Yeah, this feels like that good, honestly. This has been phenomenal. This has been a phenomenal Stanley Cup final. I've loved it. So let's hop into the game recap. That's all we're going to do today. We're not going to do anything else. We may talk about Pete DeBoer briefly, but let's get into the recap. So the first period was insane. Absolutely insane. You had Sam Bennett score early on the power play from Schmidt and Rodriguez with 2:07 left. And then Evander Kane scored a little bit later from Arvidsson and Bouchard to tie the game up at 1. And then Evan Bouchard with another Bouch bomb from McDavid and Draisaitl to make it 2-1 Oilers. I got to say, Bouchard, I think he had 3 or 4 points tonight. No, he had 2. He had 2. So, or he had 3. He had 3 points. Bouchard, what's funny about him, too, is that he had the goal where it bounced off of him. He had the goal where Marchand kicked it past him in overtime. He might be the most pulverizing player ever. Honestly, this man makes highlight reels and he screws up. It's actually crazy. I mean, the deflection's not his fault. It's unlucky, but still.
Yeah, we talk about Bouchard, we've seen him screw up multiple times this playoffs. We've seen him screw up multiple times regular season, but we always seen him make these ridiculous highlight plays in season and in this playoff run.
What's funny is that I remember he had that one game, I think it was against Montreal, where he shit the bed and had a horrible defensive play. And then the very next game against Ottawa, he scored that highlight reel goal.
I knew that was coming. Yeah. I think of Bouchard like that. He went bar down right on all mark.
That's all I remember. This man is so pulverizing, it's insane. Seth Jones tied the game up not long afterwards, less than 2 minutes from Lusterinen and Schmidt. Skinner had no chance on that, I'm sorry to say. Just a good pass in front. All the Oilers were on one side. Skinner went right there. Boom, there you go. Jones put that one in the net. And then the controversy kind of comes in. There were a lot of penalties in this game. There were a lot of them. It seemed like the refs were calling a lot of things, especially in the beginning, unlike what I saw in other games in these playoffs. Would you agree?
So here's what I noticed. First period, they call everything. After the first period, let them play. That's what past 2 games. That's what it's been for the most part. It's like if it's an egregious penalty, they'll call it. But in the third, after the second period, they weren't calling dick though.
Yeah, there was like maybe 1 or 2 calls, but yeah, I don't know. Then Draisaitl scores off of a power play from McDavid and Bouchard. I will talk about that unbelievable play by McDavid, but first off, the interference call on Sam Bennett. How'd you feel about it? I'm on the fence.
I'm on the fence
it's
too.
really on the fence for me.
Because once again, I see it from both sides. Like I see how it's interference, but I don't see how it's not interference.
Well, Ekholm runs into him, or Ekholm doesn't run into him. Ekholm is in a net battle with him. I feel like, and I might need to watch it again, I feel like Ekholm kind of trips Bennett, and Bennett falls into Skinner.
But here's the thing. Sam Bennett is known, and like the past 2 rounds, he's known for, he got the goalie.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like they gave him the penalty to say, hey, keep doing this shit no more.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that might have been what it was, honestly. And then McDavid scores that insane overtime assist on, good God, like that. Deeks through Barkov, Deeks through Ekblad. Ekblad had a pretty rough game. He took a big shot block to the wrist in the double overtime, and then he got absolutely bamboozled. You see him afterwards. If you look at him afterwards, he's on the ground in disbelief. He's like, oh my God. And then Draisaitl just right there. I said in my commentary, I'm like, this is the greatest duo in the NHL, maybe ever. Honestly,
the amount of times I've seen Ekblad get walked just in these playoffs alone is insane.
I even said in my thing, I'm like, man, he might be going to the open market now.
I don't know. I can talk about Ekblad and pending free agency in another episode, but this playoff run might be ruining his value.
Honestly, yeah, it's really ruining his value. Then in the second period, Kulikov scores his second of the playoffs from Verhaeghe and Jones. It's the unlucky bounce off of Evan Bouchard. So, of course.
So, I got a story about that. I placed a bet today. I bet on Sam Bennett to score a goal. Yay me. But then I was looking down at the list, who's the least, the most player who's expected not to score, the last person on the list. It was Dmitry Kulikov.
Did you place it?
I did not. I wish I did though.
No.
It was plus 2,200.
Oh, you would have gotten a bunch of money.
I would have got if I did that with the Bennett. I would have got so much money.
That's terrible. But yeah, Verhaeghe from Jones on that play. Brad Marchand scores shorthanded in what was almost an identical goal to the overtime goal on Lundell from Lundell, shorthanded. To make it 4-3 Panthers, and the Oilers do what they do best. They came back. It almost didn't look like it, but Corey Perry, 40 years old, from Jake Wallman and McDavid, ties the game up at 4 with 18 seconds left. Unreal stuff. And we were I'm thinking, I was kind of dragging at the end. I'm like, all right, I just want to get this game done so I can record the podcast and do the TikTok, and then I can go to bed. And then Perry scores, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no,
are you kidding me?
I'm like, all right.
You're probably in a worse situation than me, though.
I'm like, all right, game's over. I can, do the podcast, go shower, maybe get something to eat, and go to bed. Nope, I do 2 more overtimes.
Nope, 2 more. Just brutal. I mean, the first overtime was pretty good. Had some nice breakaways from Reinhart. McDavid had a couple of good chances. But it didn't matter. Brad Marchand, again, scored nearly the identical goal, just from a different side in overtime. From Lundell again, ironically enough, to win the game for Florida. It's tied up at 1. It's Marchand, the rat of all rats.
I'm going to say this, though. That overtime, Edmonton dominated.
They did. They absolutely killed the Panthers. The Panthers had some chances, but they absolutely killed them. There's no doubt about it. Shots were 4-1, or shots were 13-8 in favor of Edmonton in the first overtime. Shots were 4-1 in favor of Florida in the second overtime. So I guess maybe it wasn't domination, but still.
But like the first overtime, definitely they dominated. The second overtime, not so much. But the fact that Florida got 8 shots in that first overtime is kind of surprising because I don't remember them even getting even getting maybe 5 shots.
There were a couple weak chances. I think that's what it was. But yeah, honestly, the Panthers win game 2, 5-4 in double overtime. Game 3 is on Monday. LeBlanc, your MVP for Florida and Edmonton. What do you got?
Florida. Sorry, I'll go Edmonton first. Edmonton, Bouchard.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you gotta say Bradley Kevin Marchand.
You got to say Brad the Rat Marchand. You have to. I don't think you really have a choice, to be honest. So there you go. My MVP, I would say, for the Panthers, definitely Marchand. I got to say that for sure. And then for the Oilers, I'm actually going to say McDavid.
Okay.
McDavid had 1, 2, 3 assists in that game, including the absolute dangle. McDavid just making feeds, making passing plays. Bouchard had a very good game there, too. And Draisaitl did as well, but I think I'm going to give my MVP to McDavid this time around. I also thought, and I want to give credit to Skinner, because even though, the overtime winner wasn't pretty, Skinner played very well.
Yeah.
So did Bobrovsky, too.
I also want to give a shout-out to Seth Jones. He had 2 points tonight. He looked pretty good defensively, too, so... Jones
was good. Sam Bennett has 12 goals in 12 road playoff games. It's an NHL record.
It's crazy.
Unreal. Unreal stuff. I want to, and I know this is a question that we were going to talk about, but I think we said it in chat today, or it was yesterday.
No, it was today. It was this morning.
Sam Bennett, $10 million.
There's no, you can't convince me that's justified. I'm sorry.
It's not. It's not. I don't even know if I give him 8, to be honest with you.
So
I know
he's also playing for his contract. You need to remember that too.
Yeah. So I know we're going a little bit off topic, but we've only been doing this for 10 minutes. I want to just discuss this real quick. Sam Bennett, career high, 51 points, 28 goals is career high in goals, but 25 goals this year, 26 assists, was a minus 15. That's a career high for this guy.
That doesn't even break. I'll be honest. It doesn't even break 8 in my book.
No, it doesn't. If he gets 10, the market is absolutely fucked. It is just absolutely.
Like I said yesterday, I'm like, if Bennett gets 10, what are guys like Ehlers and Best are going to get?
Bro, they might get 12. Like, they're better than freaking Bennett.
I don't know a single team that's going to give either of those guys $12 million, though.
Yeah, exactly. But they could. But if Bennett gets 10, they should get 12 or 11.
And then if they get 12, Marner should get 17.
Marner's going to get. Oh my God! I pray to God no team gives him that money. And if they do, they are in trouble.
I'm going to give you a hypothetical now. What team can you see doing that?
Giving him 10?
Yeah.
One moment. Let's go to cap wages. I really can't see any team doing it, to be honest with you.
I've got one. I got a couple in mind. I don't know if they have the money for it. I'm just going to the.
I could see teams offering him an overpay, and an overpay would be from like 8 to 10. Oh, look, he's on my screen right now. There's no way but it's on my screen talking to Jackie Redmond right now. Anyway, there's a couple of teams I could see him doing that. One of them is Detroit.
I think Detroit would. I see Detroit. I see. Hear me out here. Boston.
I don't know.
And
I could see them overpaying. I don't know about 10 mil though. If anybody gives them 10 mil, they should be fired.
Just because I think it'd be funny. If this happened, it'd be funny. It's not gonna happen, but it'd be funny. Imagine if Calgary offers him 10 mil.
Oh my God, that'd actually be insane. I don't think they would do that.
No, they wouldn't do it, but I think it'd be funny.
LeBlanc.
What?
You know we had a discussion about this team last episode. The drafted defenseman team.
Seattle.
They have 20 mil in cap space. Get it done.
If
Jason Botterill, I think this is a good signing. He's really going to help out the team. Minus 15. If they get Bennett, I'll have a generational crash out. Especially if it's $10 million.
Like,
good God.
Like, if you're a team like Seattle, like that's half your available funds for the year, and then
Literally.
you can't, and that doesn't even include the guys you have to sign.
Would you be shocked if they did that though?
No, like.
He's like, I can't believe this. They would never. No, $10 million. That's like half their budget. Would you be surprised? No.
Like, I think I said this before. Like, I love the Seattle Kraken. I
do too. But they're making it very hard for me to love them.
They're making it so hard. And like going there for a game. After that game, I said, "Wow, this is one of the best hockey experiences I've ever had." And they're just fucking it up. And we can go into a whole rant on this. I swear. But
we have so many times. Now, I want to ask you another question, and then I'll let you go to bed. Maybe we can talk about DeBoer as well. So we're talking about players who are expiring at the end of this year. What about Evan Bouchard? RFA has had a phenomenal playoffs, phenomenal year. What do you think he's going to get with Edmonton? Oilers have $13 million cap space.
You would have to. I would think he's asking for 9.
I think that's the minimum. Not going to lie. That's not the max for me, though. I could see him getting like 10.
You know who's a team I think could offer sheet him? Columbus.
You know what's maybe. I'm not saying I don't think he gets offer sheeted. I think whatever a team offer sheets, I think the Oilers will match it.
Probably, but like here's my take on offer sheets. Now, just real quick. I feel like the compensation for offer sheets is way too much.
It kind of is,
like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, well, you get free first round picks if you get them for $9 million. Well, here's another idea. Maybe sign your guy.
Yeah.
Like in the NBA, in the NBA, they also do RFA, but if you don't match it, you get a first round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get their first round pick, and because the NBA, I know in the NBA they only have 2 rounds, but like you get their first round pick. That's it, which I think is fair. But like saying like if you have a guy who's like if you're willing to pay a guy like 12 million as an RFA. Why should the team that won't pay him be gifted 3 first round picks?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It is a little bit weird. I will respect that. Yeah, I think Bouchard would ask for 9.5. That's what I think.
Well,
I really could see him getting like upwards of 11. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
Here's the thing, though. 11's a little too much. I could see him getting like 10.5. I think I could see that.
I feel like if I'm Edmonton, Rasmus Dahlin makes 9.5, I believe.
I think Dahlin makes more than that, actually.
Really?
Hang on a second.
I know he makes 9 something.
11.
He makes 11?
He does.
God damn. Yes.
Power makes 8.3. Oh, my God.
Power makes 8. We don't need to get no. We're not getting into Buffalo. That's a whole different.
No, we cannot do this. No, we did Seattle. We can't do it. Anyway, back to Bouchard. I can see him getting like. I mean, if Dahlin's getting 11,
I don't think Bouchard should not be getting 11. I feel like I don't know my basis. Like I always look at set player makes this much money, or got paid this much last year.
He shouldn't, but he could. I shouldn't rob a bank, but I could.
Yeah, like for example, is Evan Bouchard better than Morgan Riley?
Yes.
Is he better than a guy like Thomas Chabot?
I would say yes.
So I would say he should make more than those guys. Is he better than Owen freaking Power? Definitely. So
he's definitely going to. Well, Darnell Nurse gets 9.25. He's getting more than Nurse, so he's going to be like 9.5. That I think is the minimum.
I'm going to say 9.7 is the number.
Okay. We can look back at this.
I have no idea who Edmonton has to sign, though.
Edmonton has to sign Skinner, Perry, Brown, Kapanen, Frederick, and Klingberg. But LeBlanc, let me remind you who they have in 2026.
They have McDavid. They need to sign McDavid.
They do. That's the biggest thing. And they also have Kane and Arvidsson and Henrique, which those aren't too bad.
Hear me out here. If Edmonton goes on to win the Stanley Cup, letting Bouchard walk might be a smart idea. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you get the money from McDavid. Though I feel the Oilers, you're going to extend McDavid on July 1st.
I think they really want to figure out a way. I honestly think they might get rid of Nurse. They might find a way to get rid of him. Like, whatever way it takes, they might find a way, honestly. I mean, I feel like you have to move on from... I think Arvidsson goes, unless it is cheaper. Henrique probably goes, unless it's cheaper.
Skinner probably walks.
Skinner's expiring in 26 too. That's also...
Oh, he's 26, not this year. Okay, I thought that was...
No, not this year. All those guys are 26. Sorry.
Okay.
But even still, yeah. I don't know. All right. That's very intriguing. Anything else you want to discuss? Do you want to discuss DeBoer real quick?
Let's do DeBoer. Let's get into DeBoer real quick.
Yeah, so the Dallas Stars have fired head coach Pete DeBoer as of today. I'm a little bit surprised that it's happening now.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it's happening, but I'm surprised that it's happening now. Yesterday, June 6th. I'm shocked, honestly.
So I get you need time to evaluate the season. I think find teams like they go like right into like, oh, you're fired right away. No, like you need to sit back, like reflect, and then do your business. I feel like, but here's the thing: I don't think DeBoer should have been fired.
Not now. I feel like he has one more year left on his contract.
Let him play it out.
I feel like you let him play it out. He got you to 3 straight conference finals. I know what happened wasn't pretty. Maybe there's something behind the scenes that happened. Maybe with Jim Nilly had like a bad conversation or whatever. Apparently, Nil said that the reason why he was fired, or part of it was why, the exit interviews. It wasn't Oettinger. It was the exit interviews that got him fired. Okay. Why did it take this long?
Like I think he said like what he said about Oettinger was one of the factors of why he got canned.
Yeah. So I don't understand. I think what I really, and this is just me speculating. This is purely me speculating. Maybe some of the players on Dallas, for example, Jason Robertson, may have said, if DeBoer's the coach next year, I don't want to be here.
I feel like there's reports coming out that a lot of players didn't like him pulling Oettinger in game 5.
Exactly.
So, and like players do, I hate to break it to people, but like players do that a lot. Where like, hey, if this coach isn't here, I don't want to be here.
Daryl Sutter's a big example back in Calgary.
Dave Haxtell.
Like the whole team wanted to fucking leave.
Sorry, Dave Haxtell twice.
Yeah, in Seattle and Philly.
Dan Bylsma in Buffalo. That was another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like I think the one I think about the most is Calgary, just because like the whole team wanted to fucking leave.
Well, Sutter was one of that coaches where like he like it's kind of like Babcock, where like he made you hate him so you play better.
Yeah, honestly, but yeah, DeBoer is very weird. Do you think he gets another job? Like all the jobs are filled up, though. That's the problem.
He'll probably get a job the following coaching cycle, or let's like team of expectations shits the bed. Bringing DeBoer mid-season.
I'm trying to think. Kind of like Montgomery, but where... Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Like coaches on the hot seat. It's kind of hard to do it like right now, but like...
I mean, there are definitely coaches on the hot seat for sure. Like, there's plenty. I think, honestly, the moment a team sucks ass next year, like, for example, let's say, I don't know, like LA is shit out of the gate or whatever... They'll be in on DeBoer right away. Yeah,
or like a team like, no, not them. No, not them either. I'm trying to think.
Like Utah maybe.
Yeah, Utah's a good one. A team.
Ooh, I actually like that. Honestly, now you got that in my head.
A team like Utah. A team like like LA. Like this is like Hiller's on a short leash. You know that.
Yeah, that's what Yeah. So
it's only two. I don't want to think of him. I would say maybe if Washington like sucks ass next year. I don't see that though. But like
again, I get what you're saying. Like a team that just shits the bed. So good example there. All right, we're gonna wrap here before we say anything more stupid or go on more rambles about Seattle or Buffalo or drafting a defenseman. That'll do it here for this episode of the NordCast and NBP. We'll be back to you guys on Tuesday. June 10th, I think. LeBlanc, any final thoughts?
Well, I'm going to bed.
Good night, LeBlanc.
Good.
We'll be back with the prospect previews as well on Monday as well. Unless if that game goes to triple overtime, then we probably
swear to God.
Yes, please don't do it. We were planning on doing it. We were planning on doing Martone, or not Martone, Denoye and Frondell, but nope. Anyway,
Every game's gone longer than it should have, and it's not good. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't want.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
That's it for us. Thank you all for watching.
Ciao.
Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to yet again another episode of the NordCast. If you enjoyed, please subscribe down below or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at NordCast. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, follow at NordCast_. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Nordic. Thanks for listening from all the crew, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.